Shit's getting real weird. All right, so you have this photo apparently from Vanity Fair. Is this actually from Vanity Fair? Who the fuck is this? Okay, I don't know about the accuracy of this photo. It seems a little crazy. Unless it's directly in the article itself. It's some random fucking Democrat DNC spokesman whose job is to hold third-party candidates accountable for the Democrats. And I feel like that's what he's doing. He's holding RFK accountable for eating dog. I believe it's a goat. Yeah, they're just digging for dirt, which is so funny because, like, digging for dirt, just let him speak, bro. He will fucking dirty himself all day. Look at this.
I am not a church boy. I am not running like that. I said I had a very, very rambunctious.
What is this? When asked about the allegations that RFK Jr. sexually assaulted his then 20-year-old babysitter, his answer, I'm not a church boy. I said there are skeletons in my closet. And then he refused to comment. This is from the Vanity Fair article. The fall of 1998, the Kennedys hired a 23-year-old woman, Eliza Cooney, as a part of their part-time babysitter. She was a recent college graduate interested in working in environmental causes and had looked after Carrie Max's children, Hyannisport, that summer. That name is crazy. Hyannisport? Cooney moved in with Bobby and Mary's family home in Mount Kisco, New York, taking care of the kids and assisting Bobby at his environmental law clinic at Pace University during the week. One night, Cooney attended a meeting in the family kitchen with Kennedy and another young riverkeeper volunteer named Murray Fisher to discuss business when she felt Kennedy's hand moving up and down her leg under the table. She tried making sense of the incident in her diary, which I have read. In an entry dated November 7th, 1998, she wrote, "From everything everybody says about the Kennedys plus their babysitters, they have me worried. Like I have to watch out, be careful. And the other night in the kitchen with Murray, I could have sworn he was touching my leg and hand. It seems like he thought I was somebody else or wasn't paying attention. Like he would come to every once in a while and snap out of it, or I would move away. It was like he was on something, or really tired, or was missing Mary, or testing me. In the back of my mind, I was hoping it wasn't what it actually was," says Cooney, now 48. Reached for comment. Fisher says he worked closely with Cooney and liked her, but wasn't aware of the alleged experiences with Kennedy at the time and feels bad for her. Weeks later, she discovered Kennedy standing in her bedroom. She saw that in her diary, which chronicled her daily activities and detailed her romantic life with a boyfriend, was open next to the bed, and she was shocked when a shirtless Kennedy, then 45, asked her to rub lotion on his back. "I thought, isn't Mary home?" She recalls. Oh, that's not Kennedy. That's what she said. "Doesn't she do this for you?" "She did it reluctantly and quickly. It was totally inappropriate," she says, adding that she stopped recording these experiences in a journal, fearing Kennedy would read them. A few months later, Cooney says she was riffling through the kitchen pantry for lunch after a yoga class, still in her sports bra and leggings, when Kennedy came up behind her, blocked her inside the room, and began groping her, putting her hands in her hips and sliding them up along her ribcage and breast. "My back was to the door of the pantry, and he came up behind me," she says, describing the alleged sexual assault. "I was frozen, shocked." He was interrupted by a worker who entered the kitchen to announce his presence. The man, according to Cooney, said something like, "Don't do anything I wouldn't do," or "Don't do anything you wouldn't want your wife to know about." Cooney stayed on the job for a few months, but says the experience damaged her confidence and diverted her from environmental work. I mean, dude, honestly, this doesn't matter for RFK voters. Like, they're cranks anyway. Like, RFK's base of support is literally the crankiest. And those guys literally think like they like it. They straight up like it when their candidate is like done some shit like this, because in their minds, they think like, oh, the media's coming after them because they're truth tellers. I'm telling you right now. You discuss this with the average RFK voter, they will literally be like, oh no, they're doing that because they're Me Tooing him because he's good. I'm going to vote for him extra hard. Anyway, Cooney kept these incidents secret until the Me Too movement began in 2017 when she first told her mother, Holly. Was I horrified? Of course. Was I surprised? Not really. And not because of the Kennedy name, as much as knowing what the culture was, especially in the world of privilege. Holly Cooney told me, I remember when we talked about it first time, she was agonizing over how public she felt when she was ready to go. In the spring of 2023, after Kennedy announced he was running against Joe Biden for the Democratic nomination, she told two close friends and a lawyer, Elizabeth Geddes, who had prosecuted the rapper R. Kelly Geddes, suggested Cooney could still bring a civil suit against Kennedy under the Adult Survivors Act. But Cooney ultimately decided against it. His candidacy for president impelled her to share her story publicly now. When asked about the fucking question, this is what he said.
I am not a church boy. I am not running like that. I said I had a very, very rambunctious youth. I said in my announcement speech that if I have so many skeletons in my closet that if they could all vote, I could run for king of the world. Mm-hmm. So, this Vanity Fair is recycling 30-year-old stories, and I'm not, going to comment on the details of any of them, but I am who I am.
You're talking there about the nanny situation. I mean, I do have to ask, sir. I mean, are you denying it or not?
I'm not going to comment on it.
All right. Well, I gave you the opportunity.
I am not a church boy.
I mean, he's not denying it, bro. He's owning it. He says, like, yeah, I was horny, big dog. What are you going to do about it? Have you seen my last name? It says Kennedy right there, bitch. Like, don't you know we're catatonically horny? No hate, but there's absolutely no way the American public could listen to that for 4 years. I mean, dude, yes, hate. What is this? You think Aaron Rupar is so funny with his copium? You think Biden's having a bad news cycle? RFK Jr.'s on Fox News answering questions about a photo of him with what appears to be a barbecued dog. It's like, bro, he could literally be like, yes, I ate dog penis specifically because it like gives me stronger erections. And his base of support would eat that shit up. They would eat that shit up and then they'd start eating dog penises. Okay. They are not running on the same playing field, man. Aaron, the fuck are you doing? Like, his audience loves that shit, dude. Are you stupid? RFK Jr., one of his first most public moments after announcing his candidacy was immediately going on Fox News and being like, I have been on Jeffrey Epstein's plane many times and we are great friends and we did archaeology together alongside Ghislaine Maxwell, whom I also love very much. Like that was his first move. Political analysts could not comprehend it. They were like, what? Like, you came out of the gates with a fucking Jeffrey Epstein was my friend shit? Like, what does that mean? Is this good? Turns out, for his audience, yes, they love that shit. Which is always so funny to me. When conspiracy theorists love voting for a guy who just is like directly involved in the types of conspiracies that they would understandably be, peeved by. Like, it's so strange. It's also a classic where it's like, oh yeah, they found child pornography on his fucking hard drives. Oh, he must have been a brave truth teller. It wasn't because he was fapping to it. You know what I mean? It's because the FBI planted it, dude. Oh my God. It just seems to keep happening to libertarians who also unironically advocate to abolish age of consent. But I'm sure it was like a FBI plant situation. Is this going to be a K-Hive stream soon? Fuck yeah, baby. Breaking news. Tucker Carlson reports that Joe Biden is keeping... Wait, what do you mean breaking news? You can't say breaking news and then say Tucker Carlson. Tucker Carlson does not break news. He breaks minds, but he does not break news. Tucker Carlson is not a journalist. He was not a journalist at Fox News. He was not a journalist at CNN. He was always a commentator. Okay? Like, you can't... I don't break news. Okay? I never go breaking news and act like I'm doing original reporting. Okay? Breaking news. Tucker Carlson made some shit up. Oh, yeah. Here. Here. You know what? Now that we did the RFK Jr. hour, okay? Breaking news. Urgent scientists. This is my original reporting. Breaking news. Hasanabi original reporting. Urgent. Scientists whose previous work included directed energy beam research for the U.S. intelligence community said Biden's symptoms during the CNN debate made him think of the Havana syndrome. This is according to former KGB spy Yuri Shvets, who defected to the U.S. in 1993.
Making sure that we're able to make every single solitary person eligible for what I've been able to do with the COVID. Excuse me.
Bro, your performance was so fucking bad. They're literally saying you might have gotten hit with a Havana syndrome laser. Like, that's awesome. That's how bad he was. This is like when chatters come in here and they're like, Hassan, be honest. Like, are you doing steroids? It's like, thank you so much for saying that. You think that I'm that fucking buff. I'm not, but thank you. I'll take the compliment. It's like the reverse of that. You know what I mean? These guys are like, oh no, he doesn't suck shit, dude. It was Havana syndrome. Yeah, he was just that bad, specifically because of Havana syndrome.
With dealing with everything we have to do with, look, if we finally beat Medicare. When you get knocked down, you get back up. I know what it took to take our economy from the depths of the pandemic to where it is today, the strongest economy in the world. Making sure that we're able to make every single solid.
Yeah, must have been Havana syndrome. As absurd the theory may seem on the surface, it must be taken seriously, especially because Biden appeared like a completely different person before and after the debate. He may have had a cold, but that does not explain his symptoms during the debate. Yuri Shvets said his source told him an energy beam could be precisely directed towards a person's brain from a significant distance. Bro, dude, oh brother, this is his shit was so busted. People are literally fucking relitigating old conspiracy theories. That's crazy, brother. That is so cooked. Holy moly, he's so bad. He is so fucking unimaginably cooked. Shvets, a former KGB. This guy's going off on the Shvets guy. Having a Shvets. A former KGB spy who was based in Washington, D.C. during the 80s does not believe in coincidences. And the fact that Russia's Il-76 government plane landed in the U.S. on June 27th before the debate and then left after the fact on June 29th could further suggest foul play. Russia made Biden old. Russia took Biden to the beach that makes you old. Come on, Hassan. What are the odds that an 81-year-old man who has been visibly declining for a decade looked old? It had to be the KGB. No, it had to be the FSB, bro. He's saying that a former KGB double agent is leaking the secrets about Havana syndrome. And this guy is literally saying that this Russian jet beamed Biden somehow. Yeah, they brought him in. They brought this Russian jet in specifically so that the Sukoblyats in there could fucking beam Biden with the old ray. He was so dynamic beforehand. It's pretty crazy to think about how old he seems now. Because, like, I remember before when he looked like he shit his pants over and over again at every media appearance, I was thinking that is a young guy. That's a guy who I think could lead the nation for not just like the next 4 years, but how about next 40 years? Damn you, Putin. Damn you, Pooter. How could you do this? How could you do this to our Brandon? He was so visibly young and virile. He was blowing Jill Biden's back out. You did this to our boy. He is no... It's Russian interference that he seems old, and not because he's 854 years old. It's so good.